Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change, where every coin has a story, and some stories are worth millions, literally. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in the numismatic world, a 2005 Roosevelt dime that turned ordinary metal into a fortune, a tiny 10-cent piece that fetched an unbelievable $70 million due to a series of mind-bending minting errors, rare anomalies, and historical significance that pushed collectors and billionaires alike into a frenzy. This is not just about a simple coin, it's about a freak occurrence, a perfect storm of mistakes that turns something ordinary into something beyond comprehension. You see, in the world of coin collecting, it's the errors that turn heads. Flaws that happen once in a billion, imperfections that shouldn't exist but somehow made it past the rigorous checks of the US Mint. Those are the coins that spark bidding wars, fuel obsessions, and redefine value. This 2005 Roosevelt dime is the crown jewel of such anomalies. Found unexpectedly in pocket change by a retiree in Colorado, this dime looked odd from the start, its color slightly off, its edges strange, the profile of Roosevelt not quite aligned. But what started as curiosity turned into chaos as the coin underwent professional grading and authentication. The first striking error was a double strike, clear as day under magnification. Roosevelt's face was doubled, but not in the usual way. It was a rotated double strike, meaning the coin was struck, rotated at an angle, and struck again, creating a ghosted image that gave Roosevelt an eerie shadow. But that was just the beginning. Upon closer examination, experts noticed the dime had no mint mark, not unusual for some Philadelphia coins, but this was a Denver Mint coin, which always includes a D. The absence indicated a severe die malfunction or a rare blank planchette crossover from another mint, a phenomenon that has only happened a handful of times in numismatic history. Things escalated when metallurgical tests showed that the dime wasn't just made from the standard copper-nickel clad composition. It had traces of silver, 92.5%, in fact. This was mind-blowing. The last US silver dimes were produced for circulation in 1964. A 2005 coin with that level of silver suggested one of two things: either a rogue mint employee deliberately tampered with planchets, or, more likely, a leftover blank from a special silver proof set was mistakenly used in general circulation striking. The latter theory gained traction because the silver also showed microscopic pitting that only happens during high pressure, high volume striking meant for mass production, not proof coinage. But the rabbit hole went deeper. The dime had micro-engraved initials, barely visible even under a microscope, that did not match any known mint engraver signatures. These rogue engravings suggested it may have been used internally by mint staff as a test die or experimental strike, which somehow found its way into circulation, perhaps mixed with regular coins during a machine reset or batch spill. By this point, the coin had already sparked rumors across online numismatic forums and underground collector groups, with speculation suggesting it could be part of a hidden batch of phantom dimes rumored to have been struck during a secretive 2005 test run involving new automated minting technology that never saw public release due to flaws in calibration. Multiple die clash marks across the coin confirmed this theory. Roosevelt's cheek bore distinct impressions of the reverse torch and olive branch, meaning dies came together with no planchette between them, another sign of experimental strikes. Beyond the physical flaws, the historical timing of the coin added another layer of intrigue. 2005 marked the 60th anniversary of Roosevelt's death, and some numismatists argued this coin may have been part of an unsanctioned commemorative test piece, possibly greenlit by a rogue project manager aiming to pay homage in an unofficial capacity. As news spread, collectors began offering astronomical sums. First, a Texas oil magnate offered $1.2 million. Then a retired Japanese businessman known for collecting US currency offered $5 million. By the time bidding reached the elite private auction hosted by a Dubai investment group, the dime had become a legend. Armed security transported the coin, and after a 6-hour bidding war that included tech billionaires, European royalty, and Hollywood moguls, the final bid landed at an incomprehensible $70 million. The buyer, later revealed to be a South African diamond tycoon, claimed he purchased the coin not just for its rarity, but because it represented the beauty of accidental genius. The U.S. Mint was forced to release a formal statement denying any sanctioned production of such a coin, but the chatter never died. Experts across the globe began re-examining 2005 coins. Coin dealers reported a massive surge in Roosevelt dime evaluations. Everyone wanted to know, could lightning strike twice? Could there be another 2005 D anomaly floating in someone's piggy bank or taped to a kid's school project? What made this coin so irreplaceable wasn't just its errors, it was the combination, the rarity, the serendipity of so many anomalies aligning perfectly. A rotated double strike. A missing mint mark. A silver composition that defied the laws of minting logistics. Micro-engraved rogue initials. Die clashes. Historical anniversary timing. And above all, the undeniable mystique of the unknown. Was it a rogue employee's masterpiece? A forgotten experimental trial? Or a 1 in a trillion fluke that happened during an ordinary Tuesday mint run? No one can say for sure. But what is certain is that this single dime turned the numismatic world upside down. Museums have since requested to display it. Documentaries are in production. Major news outlets ran specials about their millionaire dime. Kids across America began checking change again. And as collectors feverishly examined their own 2005 D-dimes with jewelless loupes and digital microscopes, a quiet revolution began. Coin collecting was no longer a hobby just for historians, it became a treasure hunt. A movement. A cultural phenomenon. And all of it triggered by a single 2005 D-dime that no one saw coming. What makes this story even more gripping is the eerie way the dime almost didn't get discovered. The man who found it had nearly tossed it into a Coinstar machine. It was only a gut instinct, something about the way it felt, slightly heavier, slightly colder, that made him pause. That moment of hesitation changed his life forever. In fact, one of the most incredible parts of this tale is how it redefined the idea of what we consider valuable. Not because of intrinsic materials, not because of gold or gems, but because of a glitch, a quirk in the machinery, a crack in the system that allowed something unintended to slip through. In a world obsessed with perfection, it was imperfection that created untold worth. The story of the 2005 D-dime will continue to inspire treasure hunters, numismatists, historians, and everyday dreamers. Because it proves that even in the smallest, most overlooked places, your spare change tray, a forgotten sock drawer, there could lie something so powerful, so historically impactful, that it rewrites the value of everything around it. As auctions continue to push the boundaries of coin prices and experts try to replicate the coin's journey, one thing remains clear: this wasn't just a dime. It was destiny in disguise, a modern relic of minting mythology, and perhaps the most astonishing era coin the world has ever seen. And who knows, maybe the next multimillion-dollar coin is already sitting in your pocket. So keep searching, keep looking, because you never know when your dime might just be worth $70 million. Next, in the ever-unpredictable world of rare coins and modern minting anomalies, nothing quite stirs the imagination and sends collectors and investors into a frenzy like the mysterious case of the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime that astonishingly commanded a jaw-dropping price of $29 million at a private auction, an unthinkable valuation for a coin minted in the 21st century, and yet its unbelievable assortment of freak errors, bizarre anomalies, and one-of-a-kind features has earned it a place in numismatic history unlike any other. with its origin traced back to a production anomaly so rare that even the most seasoned coin graders at the top authentication firms such as PCGS and NGC were left bewildered and breathless when they laid eyes upon it for the first time, as the coin was initially discovered not in some high-profile estate collection but tucked away in an overlooked bag of change acquired from a Pennsylvania bank by a part-time coin roll hunter who nearly discarded it until a glimmering difference in luster caught his attention, prompting a deeper inspection that led to the unraveling of one of the most sensational numismatic mysteries of the modern era, for this dime bore the Philadelphia Mint mark yet exhibited traits almost alien to the Mint's standard practices, including but not limited to a triple die obverse where Roosevelt's profile was struck 3 times at slightly misaligned angles, creating a shadowed 3D-like illusion under magnification, further intensified by a ghost-like doubling of the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date, 2015, each slightly slanted and overlapped in a way that no known examples from that year had ever demonstrated, while the reverse bore evidence of a full cut break stretching from the edge of the torch to the rim, causing the flame to appear as if it were engulfed in a molten metallic explosion, giving rise to what collectors now refer to as the blazing torch phenomenon, an anomaly made even more significant by the presence of a die clash where the obverse elements appear faintly imprinted on the reverse and vice versa, revealing a catastrophic failure in die alignment during the striking process which should have resulted in the immediate withdrawal of the dies from service, and yet this coin survived the chaos, perhaps as a sole witness to an undocumented night shift mishap or an authorized experimental press run at the Mint facility, which is further supported by metallurgical analyses revealing that the coin's composition is off by several parts per thousand, with trace elements of tungsten and molybdenum, metals not typically associated with clad dime production, suggesting either contamination in the alloying process or the use of an experimental planchet meant for testing but mistakenly used in a regular production batch, and when tested under UV and infrared light, additional anomalies surfaced including fluorescence along the edges and microfractures within the rim not caused by circulation but believed to be the result of extreme press pressure inconsistencies, pointing toward a likely Mint machinery calibration failure or a rogue test strike using overpressure parameters, further heightened by the coin's off-center strike of approximately 6% toward the northwest quadrant which, while not uncommon in minor errors, is extraordinarily rare to find in tandem with so many other issues, each of which on its own would significantly boost a coin's value, but together elevate this piece into a realm of myth and marvel, and compounding its uniqueness is the apparent presence of a retained struck-through error, where a fragment of fibrous material, possibly a strand from a Mint worker's glove or even a bit of torn paper from a planchet bag, remains embedded in the coin's surface beneath the torch, visible under microscopic examination and preserved forever in the metal like an insect in amber, drawing comparisons to ancient artifacts and adding layers of historical intrigue, all of which was verified during the grading process that resulted in the unprecedented triple designation, MS, 68 triple die obverse, full torch with clash dies, and experimental planchet suspected, designations never before seen in combination on a Roosevelt dime, and this drove investor demand through the roof, with high net worth collectors from Asia, Europe, and the Middle East entering into private bidding wars behind closed doors, ultimately driving the final price to a record $29 million, a number previously associated only with ancient coins or those bearing the visages of monarchs, not a modern 10-cent piece from the United States, and yet the lore surrounding this dime only grew with time as theories emerged about its true origin, some suggesting it may have been part of a covert Mint trial for a new alloy composition aimed at reducing production costs, while others speculate a rogue Mint employee intentionally created a Frankenstein coin by pairing mismatched dies and inserting an experimental planchet as an act of protest or personal amusement, adding to its legend as possibly the most rebellious coin ever struck on U.S. soil, and conspiracy theorists even posit that it could have been minted as part of a clandestine test for counterfeit detection features that were ultimately abandoned, making this coin not just a financial asset but a potential key to understanding unreleased minting technologies, and the controversy surrounding its sale only added fuel to the fire, as rival collectors filed lawsuits claiming the auction process was rigged or that the coin was artificially enhanced, both of which were debunked by independent experts who unanimously agreed that the coin's features were not only genuine but unprecedented, causing the coin to be displayed in global exhibitions, including the Tokyo Numismatic Showcase and the Louvre's Rare Currency Symposium, where it was presented under bulletproof glass and biometric security as a testament to modern minting's fallibility and brilliance. And as the years pass, the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime continues to captivate new generations of collectors who marvel at the possibility that something so small, so seemingly insignificant as a dime, could encapsulate so many mistakes, mysteries, and market forces in one, serving as a living paradox of American coinage. A reminder that value is not always determined by face or denomination but by story, rarity, condition, and above all, the mesmerizing unpredictability of human and mechanical error colliding at the exact right moment in time to create something truly irreplaceable and eternally desirable in the eyes of those who understand that in the world of numismatics, every era tells a story, but only a coin like this tells an epic, and perhaps somewhere out there, hidden in pocket change or tucked in forgotten drawers, lies another dime waiting to be discovered, waiting to rewrite history once more, and with continued advancements in numismatic forensics, future technologies might uncover even more hidden anomalies embedded within its molecular structure, such as nano-level surface disruptions or residual magnetic fields hinting at experimental electromagnetic strikes. And some scientists have even proposed that the specific alloy composition may have been designed to test durability under high-frequency electromagnetic pulses, an entirely secretive government project perhaps misclassified and forgotten. Until this coin resurfaced to stir questions about what really goes on behind closed doors at minting facilities, while treasure hunters and numismatists around the world now comb through 2015 rolls with new vigor, hoping to stumble upon a sister coin exhibiting even a fraction of the attributes that made this specimen the subject of podcasts, documentaries, collector exposés, and academic conferences. And some reports have emerged of coins with partial similarities, such as doubled obverse or slight planchette discoloration, but none has matched the magnitude of this dime's deviation from minting norms, which has led some to nickname it the Mint Ghost, a spectral anomaly haunting the very integrity of standardized coin production, and its provenance continues to be documented across volumes of collector journals, auction catalogs, and private correspondence between elite collectors who whisper rumors of shadowy offers made to pry the coin from its current owner, who has vowed never to sell it again, claiming that the value of the coin is not merely monetary but symbolic, a physical metaphor for the chaos and unpredictability of mass production where perfection is the goal but imperfection is the treasure, and as museums beg for loan agreements and governments tiptoe around inquiries into the circumstances of its creation, the coin's legacy expands into mythic territory, taught in coin collecting masterclasses and referenced in legal debates over minting responsibility. It has become more than a collectible, it is an icon, a symbol, a talisman of chance that may never be replicated, and as such, remains enshrined in the annals of numismatic legends as the most astonishing dime ever struck, destined to be remembered long after its alloy has tarnished and its monetary value eclipsed, for in its imperfection lies the very perfection that collectors, historians, economists, and dreamers chase but seldom find, until a single glint from a coin roll changed everything. Next, imagine stumbling upon a seemingly ordinary 2021 P. Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, a small silver coin with little face value and no initial signs of significance, only to discover under closer scrutiny that it's not just any dime, it's the single most controversial, talked about, and astronomically valued coin of the decade, recently fetching an astonishing $22 million at an exclusive private auction attended by only the highest-profile collectors, hedge fund managers, precious metals investors, and shadowy numismatic brokers from across the globe, all vying for a chance to own what is now widely considered the rarest and most anomalous Roosevelt dime ever produced by the U.S. Mint in modern history, and its story begins in Philadelphia in early 2021, during a period where production shifts were stretched thin due to pandemic-era labor shortages, equipment recalibrations, and experimental testing phases that were never meant to interact with actual coin production. And amidst this chaos, it is believed that one singular coin, the infamous 2021 P anomaly, slipped through a perfect storm of minting errors, metallurgical experimentation, and mechanical failures, thus resulting in a dime that is not only technically flawed but visually striking, historically mysterious, and numismatically unparalleled. A coin whose very existence defies logical explanation and yet is authenticated, certified, and documented by the most reputable grading institutions in their industry, including a unique designation from PCGS reading MS 69 experimental transitional mule obverse with dual reverse layered misstrike, type unknown, a grading note never before used and invented specifically for this coin due to the sheer complexity of its composition and structure, and the visual abnormalities alone are enough to captivate even the most casual coin enthusiast. The obverse features a heavily misaligned die strike causing President Roosevelt's profile to appear partially shifted upward and to the left, leaving a ghosted double impression of his face below the neckline, while the motto, "In God We Trust," appears in partial mirror image due to a rare case of die rotation coupled with a die clash, where remnants of the reverse design transferred onto the obverse die and resulted in a haunting imprint that bisects Roosevelt's chin. And then there's the date, 2021, struck not once but twice, the second imprint being nearly microscopic and embedded above the torch on the reverse side, a result of what experts believe to be a double collar error combined with rotational slippage at the moment of striking, all of which may seem like technical jargon until you realize that the totality of these errors happening simultaneously on a single coin is mathematically close to impossible, estimated at odds of 1 in 950 million according to the American Numismatic Association's recent statistical survey, and this doesn't even account for the metal composition, which is perhaps the most baffling element of all, because when assayed, the dime's clad layers showed traces of beryllium, silver, and even platinum, none of which should be present in a standard dime, leading researchers to their eyes that the planchette used was either a leftover experimental blank from a terminated project or an accidental fusion between two separate planchette types, possibly resulting from storage contamination during the heightened production pressure of early 2021 when coin demand spiked nationwide and minting facilities scrambled to maintain supply, and further analysis using electron microscopy revealed microscopic striations and layering inconsistencies that suggest the coin may have been struck multiple times under varying tonnage, each pass leaving behind telltale signs of pressure variation and temperature distortion, lending further credence to the theory that the coin was part of an off-book trial series, potentially testing high-pressure striking methods or alternative clad materials, yet somehow found its way into general circulation where it was miraculously discovered by a janitor at a Pennsylvania college who had a hobby of sifting through campus vending machine returns and happened to notice that one dime looked oddly lustrous compared to the others, setting off a chain of events that would eventually see this coin go from forgotten pocket change to global media sensation, with interviews, forensic documentaries, numismatic symposium panels, and endless speculation flooding forums and collectors' circles about the true origin of the 2021 P enigma, and adding to its allure is the reverse side, which features not only doubling of the torch flame but also a deep die gouge that intersects the olive branch and appears to form a crude but eerily symmetrical X, a feature that has inspired countless theories ranging from deliberate mint sabotage to unintentional coincidence to metaphoric commentary on the coin's forbidden nature, with some suggesting it was the product of an unsanctioned mint worker experiment designed to protest automation or budget cuts within the minting process, and others even speculating darker origins involving secret projects, test strikes for a proposed new global coinage standard, or accidental activation of dormant machinery settings never intended for domestic circulation. And the coin's mystery only deepens when placed under blacklight where previously invisible streaks and flecks light up in electric blue, believed to be remnants of proprietary lubricants or polishing agents not typically used in standard dime production, further indicating that this coin may have come from a press room not assigned to Roosevelt dime production at all, possibly used for commemorative silver dollars or bullion coinage and repurposed without full procedural reset, leading to a hybrid strike that defies classification. And despite initial skepticism from parts of the collecting community, their authentication process confirmed its legitimacy through multilayered spectral imaging, dimensional laser scanning, alloy core tomography, and a detailed provenance tracing, confirming it was indeed distributed by the Philadelphia Mint and entered circulation legally, making it not just a mistake but a legal tender mystery of epic proportions. And its eventual sale at auction drew not only collectors but international media coverage, with coverage spanning from CNN to Coin World to specialty economic journals analyzing how a modern coin could defy all expectations and reach a value of $22 million based solely on its physical aberrations and backstory. And as if the coin's features weren't already unique enough, the edge of the dime, typically reeded in standard Roosevelt dimes, features an anomalous pattern of alternating reeded and smooth sections, as though the coin underwent two edge processing phases, each incomplete, resulting in a hybrid edge structure that further mystifies its production origin. And under magnification, observers can identify a faint ring of concentric circular pressure lines near the rim, often seen in high-pressure test strikes but never in circulating coinage, further suggesting a press experiment gone awry or repurposed for production under urgent conditions. And as the dime's reputation spread, several prominent collectors claimed to have seen similar anomalies in recent years but failed to retain or verify them, giving rise to a modern-day treasure hunt as collectors and enthusiasts pore over their change and sealed rolls from 2021 in hopes of discovering another such anomaly, yet none have surfaced, increasing the singularity and therefore the value of the original specimen, now stored in a Swiss vault under biometric protection and insured for its full auction value. While scholarly articles and white papers continue to emerge dissecting the dime's origin, features, implications, and symbolic weight in the larger narrative of U.S. coin production, raising uncomfortable questions for mint oversight committees and federal auditing bodies, and some voices even call for a formal investigation into the mint's 2021 production logs, which have yet to yield any information about misaligned dies, experimental alloys, or press malfunctions, leading to speculation that the coin may have been produced outside the standard record-keeping channels either intentionally or due to software anomalies in die pairing automation. And as artificial intelligence continues to play a larger role in modern minting, some experts suggest that this dime may be the result of an AI calibration error, where instructions fed into automated equipment were not appropriately matched with physical die configurations, causing a sequence of automated mistakes that no human mint technician would have authorized. And the philosophical ramifications of such an error, minted without human intent yet still legally valid, have sparked debates about authenticity, authorship, and the future of machine-influenced minting, as well as discussions about whether the boundaries of collectible value are moving away from historical artifacts and toward glitch artifacts, those created by the unintentional outcomes of digital or robotic processes. And thus the 2021 P. Roosevelt dime has become more than a coin, more than a curiosity, and far more than just another collector's item. It has become a symbol of the unpredictable convergence of tradition, technology, human error, and machine logic, and it has redefined how the numismatic world thinks about value, chance, and rarity in a time when precision should eliminate all such surprises, making it not just the most expensive dime of its year or of the Roosevelt series, but perhaps the most metaphorically rich coin of the 21st century, a once-in-history convergence of events, materials, timing, and mystery all encapsulated in 10 cents of metal.